The old Queen Theater in downtown Bryan now has a future plan.
And we'll tell you how the flexible year program is impacting student success. I'm Sandy Ferris.
And I'm Alan Brugman, and this is Bryan Living and Learning. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Bryan Living and Learning. The Texas Red Steak and Grape Festival is right around the corner. We'll give you a little preview of that episode, and we'll take you to a body shop that's helping to save the environment with each car that they paint.
And since it's summertime, our summer meal program is in full swing, and Alan and I recently took a tour of the Carnegie Library in downtown Bryan. Before
we get to those stories, however, there's a new group of investors that bought the Queen Theater in downtown Bryan, and it looks like they have a solid plan for the future of the theater. A downtown Bryan treasure, the Queen Theater, has changed hands once again. This time it's been purchased by the Downtown Bryan Association, formerly known as the Downtown Bryan Economic Development Association, or DeBEDA. Former City Councilman Ben Hardiman is the chairman of the association and said it was an easy decision to buy the building.
I think everybody in the community wants to embark on this project. It's a rundown condition theater. And yet, even at that, it's an icon in downtown Bryan.
And so far, Hardiman and company are receiving great feedback from the community.
We've already raised about $33,000. 29 of it has come from 29 individuals who have pledged $1,000 each.
The plan to renovate the building, which is now filled with old construction materials, will come in 3 stages.
There'll be three phases in the renovation. The first foremost, most important thing is to do demolition so that we can get in and replace the roof. Even the roof structure has to be demolished, taken out, and replaced. It's in such bad condition, it's probably at risk of collapse. The second phase will be to renovate the facade. We can't do the facade first because we have to preserve the building. But the facade's what the community sees and what the community wishes were restored, and that's what we'll tackle second. And then after that, concurrently we'll be developing our plans for the full interior. But after we get the facade finished, then we will begin the process of renovating the interior into whatever we decide it should look like in the meantime.
The plans for the building are dependent on the amount of money that's raised and the desires of the community, but Hardiman does have a tentative plan.
I don't anticipate it will be the traditional movie theater format exclusively. I expect that there will be some meeting areas within the building. I expect there will also be some theater seating for movies that will be shown in the building. Some of them, educational or even movies in conjunction with a meeting that's being held. But some of them will be purely entertainment movies, probably.
So when can people expect changes at the old Queen building?
We're going to work hard to have the roof replaced and the facade restored by Texas Reds in June of 2011. That's an aggressive goal. We're going to be aggressive about it.
You can help save the Queen yourself by logging on to downtownbryan.com and making a donation.
Well, Alan, the Queen is such an interesting landmark downtown. It's exciting to see the future for that group.
Yeah, and hopefully visitors that go to downtown Bryan and see the Queen will begin noticing changes to the building very soon.
Well, in 1903, the city of Bryan was a recipient of a Carnegie Library, one of hundreds of buildings that were funded by the Carnegie Foundation. Alan and I recently visited with Nan Ross, who's the curator of that library.
Well, if you don't recognize these doors, we're right here in downtown Bryan in front of the Carnegie Library.
The Carnegie is home to a large collection of historical documents, not only about the city of Bryan, but the school district in Brazos County as well.
We're going to go on in and check out what we can find.
We're here today with Nan Ross, who's the Carnegie librarian. And Ann, tell us what someone would be looking for when they come to the Carnegie Library.
A wide variety of things, local history, genealogy. A lot of people come in looking up old homes, Some of them just come and see the architecture. So they find out that we are one of the few remaining Carnegie libraries in Texas that's still being used as a library.
Well, let's take a look.
Yeah, let's look. We were lucky when we moved back in here in '99. People gave us back things that had been in the library originally. The magazine rack was given to us. These pub tables, which were original, were given back to us.
So when you say original, this table and the one in there were built
They were
when the Carnegie was built?
They were bought when the Carnegie was
Okay.
built originally.
Well, let's take a look in this side room and
Okay.
tell us what's in here.
These are local history files. This is fire department information that they brought to us, all sorts of logs and history and other things. You can see some of it is very fragile. We kept even the envelopes. We have suggested regulations for theaters.
Oh, well, for blackouts and air raids.
It's all local history to us. This is history that can't be replicated. This is what makes our collection literally invaluable. Okay.
Okay, let's see what else is over on this side. What do we
Okay.
have here?
These are rare books. Southwestern Historical Quarterly. Everything in boxes is a local history collection. And another one of our original pub tables. And one of our original children's tables. Two of them, actually.
Alan, I think you should sit in a chair there.
Maybe I will. Check
Yeah.
it out. See if we can.
They are little tiny.
So tell us
This-
about the dollhouse.
This house was in Calvert. It was known as the Blue House. And the lady that had this built had it built by a man in Waco. And it took him several years.
So is the house still standing in Calvert that it's based
It
on?
burned.
Oh,
It burned.
all right.
So,
How about you take us upstairs and
Okay.
let's see what's up there.
okay.
Okay, Nan, we've made it to the second floor. What kind of stuff is up here?
Well, behind you are computers, our card catalog, and what I hope will be more storage space for our maps. Microfilm is back here.
You have something from the 20s?
In here, the newspapers always have fascinating bits and pieces of history. They don't always have what you want.
So what date are we looking at here?
January the 21st, 1921. You get all sorts of things. Women's Club tea to postal theft
All on the
to,
front page.
to scorned suitor. And the city was going to be cleaning up, but it was wagons.
Yeah, city wagons begin general cleanup. City manager E.E. McAdams, who ordered the general cleanup, has requested that if any wagons miss any particular street or locality, that the city secretary's office be notified.
Yeah.
Oh, go back up there. One of the top stories, child was poisoned by candy coloring. Right there.
It's scary.
I like looking at the ads too. There's something playing at the Queen Theater.
A 5-room residence, 2 acres on Union Hill for $3,000.
Oh yeah, look at the real estate prices.
And the stuff that you find in the personals is just fascinating.
How many years worth of archives in the newspapers do you have?
We have back to the 1890s. The earlier ones do not exist.
Okay, and do you keep doing the archives of the Eagle up to present
We
day?
don't. The main library does.
Okay,
They wanted us to take them, but I'm running out of room
running out of the space. Makes sense.
rapidly.
All right, well, that concludes our tour today of the Carnegie Library. Now, remember, we just showed folks just a small amount of the stuff that's here at the library.
Nan, thank you for showing us around today. It was really interesting.
Okay.
Thank
Come
you.
back, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
You too.
Well, Sandy, we had a great time going through the Carnegie Library.
We did, and we want to let our viewers know that in upcoming episodes we'll be visiting some other interesting areas and buildings around the city.
Our next story, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about the upcoming Texas Red Steak and Grape Festival in downtown Bryan.
This year we're doing things bigger and better, as we do every year.
Music entertainment will be going on all day long at the Palace Theater and on the main stage, culminating in the headliner.
We're excited about Kevin Fowler being on stage. I think that's going to be a big crowd that's going to bring in a lot of excitement that day.
And this year you'll be able to buy glasses or bottles of wine all day from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. The Kids Zone is better than ever this year as well. There will be an option to buy $10 wristbands for entry or individual tickets. And there's plenty of fun for the adults as well.
We have over 70 vendors coming in this year. We're really thrilled about that. We've been very diligent on trying to pick the right ones to come in and show their wares.
For more info and a complete schedule, visit TexasRedsFestival.com.
Well, Alan, we're looking forward to Texas Reds as well. We'll have a presence in the Kids Zone this time with Kickstart Kids, which is our new martial arts program going in at Davila Middle School this fall.
Our next story is our Grin Brian segment, and it features George's Paint and Body Shop here in Bryan, Texas. They've lessened their carbon footprint by switching to a new kind of paint. A paint and body shop that's the subject of an environmental segment may seem like a strange combination, but that's not the case with Bryan's George's Paint and Body. Owners Silas and Keita Garrett have decided to reduce their shop's carbon footprint by offering a more environmentally friendly paint. It's a water-based paint produced by PPG called EnviroBase.
The old system that we had was solvent-based, and this new system is water-based, and so we are emitting approximately half as few VOCs as we were before.
And VOCs are the harmful pollutants that are in solvent-based paints. The water-based paints have been around for some time, but mainly only on the east and west coasts.
All the body shops, I believe, in California are water-based, and it's required by the EPA. And so we're just, we're the first body shop here in Bryan, and we're just wanting to implement that new technology and be environmentally friendly.
And some folks may hear water-based and worry about the quality, but that's not the case.
Actually, it's a better quality because the majority of manufacturers use water-based paint, and so now we're using the same thing that they're spraying on new cars. So it's actually a better quality and a better match.
In fact, George's offers the same lifetime warranty on the water-based paint as they used to with the solvent-based paint. And the paint isn't the only way that George's is going green. Because of the water-based paint, about half the amount of solvent is required for cleaning out their spray guns. So George's doesn't have to use as many solvents that are bad for the environment. They also have filters in their spray booths that filter out 98% of the particles that are created during the painting process. Soon, it's expected that water-based paints will be required all over the U.S. But until then, George's is proud to be the only area shop providing the greener product.
We expect it'll be trickling down, within the next few years, and it's a new technology. We care about the environment, and we wanted to go ahead and implement that and do what we can to, to help the environment.
For more info on George's, visit georgespaintandbody.com.
Well, Alan, that's exciting to see that technology that's been available around the world is now in our own backyard.
Yeah, and the folks that we talked to said it soon may be a requirement for all body shops to use that type of paint here in Texas, but George's is one step ahead of the game.
For the second year in a row, Bryan ISD has participated in the Flexible Year program, which is allowing focused instruction for students who may need a little extra help.
OFYP has been really successful this year, I think. It's nice to have smaller classes for sure, going down from a class of 30 to now a class of 15 where you can really focus on the kids that need the extra help. You can go at a slower pace and then you can really find out where they're struggling and help them feel successful and feel like they can pass this test and get their credit and move on to the next grade.
The state requires that we go to school 180 days, and with OFYP, the Optional Flexible Year Program, which we call FYP just to make it a little shorter, what it allows us to do is to cut the instructional time to 170 days for the kids who meet all the qualifications. And so for those kids, it's kind of like a reward. They get out 10 days early. But the other side of that, what it does for us that's really beneficial is it gives us those 10 extra days with all of our faculty and all of our staff to work with those kids that need the help the most.
FYP has given me the opportunity to work more closely with those students that need the extra help in small groups or individualized. We've been able to do things like special manipulatives, Play-Doh, shaving cream, things that are messy, and finger paints and things that I couldn't do with 22 or 23 students. But with 10 students, it's been very, very good and easier to do. I feel like each of the students gets smaller reading groups, smaller time to have more time on the computers that they don't normally get, and so we just do a lot of fun things at this point to try and reinforce reading and math.
Well, I think it's neat too. I don't have any of my kids that I had during the year, so I've gotten to feel like maybe teach them a different way than their teacher taught them, and just offer maybe a different way that something can click in their mind, and then that light bulb goes off and they know how to solve for y now, or things that they are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I could never do this before. And so it's neat to see those kids rise up these are like the marginal kids that, you know, maybe they were so close to passing, but now they're the leaders in the classroom and they're shouting out answers when, you know, just 2 weeks ago they were silent and feeling like they were lost in math. And so that's neat to see them kind of rise up and become the leaders instead of just the kids that are sitting there feeling lost.
Well, when we first started this, last year was our first year. We were actually already into the school year when we started researching it, and we said, you know, OFYP is a pretty cool thing. We need to look at it. And when we talked to other districts that had done it, they said that the first year you saw some gains, but the second year is when you really got the most jump and the biggest benefit in your tax scores. And so it was in the fall, we thought we don't want to wait another year and then have to wait another year to get results. And so we decided we needed to do it. The board approved it. We redid our calendar so that we could implement it that year. So this is our second year. This is the year we're hoping to see the big bump. The test scores are coming in. They're still preliminary, but it looks really good. And I think you're going to see some significant gains throughout the district.
Well, Sandy, this is the second year for FYP in the Bryan School District. Are there plans to do it a third year as well?
Actually, there are. The board has already adopted next year's calendar. We will do FYP again, and we're seeing some really encouraging results.
Next, we wanted to show you some of our video blogs that the City of Bryan's Communications Department has been producing. The first one is about the new audiobooks down at the Bryan Libraries. Hello, welcome to the City of Bryan blog. I'm Alan Brugman from the Communications Department. We're on location for this blog at the Clara B. Mounts Public Library because we found out the Bryan College Station Library System has a new thing called audiobooks. So we decided to come down to the library to check it out. Let's go inside. Hey, excuse me, I've heard about these audiobooks at the library.
Shh, I'm listening to a book.
Okay, sorry. See if you find somebody else. Hey, I've heard about these audiobooks down here at the library. Do y'all know anything about them?
Shh, I'm listening. I'm trying to download one.
Oh, okay, I'm really sorry to bother y'all. Hey, there's Larry.
Hey, hi, Alan.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Okay, I'm trying to find out about all the audiobooks, but apparently everybody's busy using them. So can you tell me anything about it?
Sure. We just recently added downloadable books. They're audiobooks, so you can listen to them. You need a computer or an iPod or an MP3 player. Any of those will work. And it's a free service to anybody that has a library card.
Okay, that explains why everybody's wearing the headphones in the library.
Yes.
Okay, and then can you get these from, where can you download them from?
Download these off the library website, bcslibrary.org. And there's a e-audio books tab on the left-hand side. You just click on that and it'll take you right over for the instructions.
Okay, and you can also come to your local libraries as well, too, and probably download them here.
Right. Well, we can help you get started. Yes.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right.
All right, that's audiobooks. Come down to the library, Bryan or College Station.
Right.
Both, check it out.
Both facilities.
Okay.
Excellent.
Until the next time, thanks for watching the City of Bryan blog. City of Bryan blog.
.com.
The next video blog doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. Just sit back and watch some of our City of Bryan employees try their hand at singing.
Welcome to the City of Bryan blog. I'm April Sagnor, the Communications Director. Something you may not know about me is it's a lifelong dream for me to try out for American Idol. And we have an opportunity coming up on June the 26th. We're holding auditions for Central Texas Idol at Margaret Rudder High School. The winner of that competition can go on and try out in a bigger city and then possibly move on to Hollywood. So I'm going to start off. I got some friends together. We're going to all audition. I know there's an age limit or something, but we're going to see if we can get around that. So I'm going to start it off for us today. I've selected The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston. So let's get started. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Are you, and you're really like looking at me in the camera too?
What am I singing?
We are the world. We are the people. That's not even the words.
That was miserable.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow.
I don't think I can do this. Can we not have such an audience, please?
This thing on? Is it on? Is it on? Okay. Dogs in the moonlight. This voice, this isn't gonna work.
Rolling, rolling on the river.
All by myself.
Like I can't just, I have to hear the music to sing it.
Don't wanna be all by myself. Okay, I'm done. Amazing grace.
You know, I didn't need to learn the words here.
How sweet the sound.
Honey, we're the big door prize. That's what we're going to sing, right?
Mm-hmm.
In spite of ourselves.
Oh, I wasn't ready.
In spite of ourselves, we end up sitting on a rainbow.
We have to start over. I didn't sing.
Oh. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow.
There won't be
nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes.
So that was pretty impressive. So join us on the big day on June 26th at Margaret Rudder High School and try out yourself. I don't know if you're going to be able to top any of those performances, but good luck. We'll see you there.
City of Bryan blog.
.com.
Just in case you missed that date, the tryout is June 26th right there at James Earl Rudder High School in the Margaret Rudder Auditorium.
Well, even though school is not in session, our Nutrition Services Department is making sure that students are getting healthy meals throughout the summer.
The Summer Food Service Program is a program sponsored by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and it's designed to provide meals during the summer because children are out, there's no school, so they want to continue to provide nutritious meals to kids during the summer. This summer we will have 19 locations. 3 programs are actually running right now. They started May 20th. The 3 we have operating right now are at Bryan High School at gym number 3, and we have meals going over to the Neal Recreation Center, and then we have meals going to the Boys and Girls Club. Probably at the high point, which will be June, it'll average about 3,000 kids a day. We try to have these locations in areas where we have lots of kids that can walk in, so if they're home alone they can walk over to the school, which is a safe place, and get a nutritious meal, because I know like most kids that are at home, parents may not want them cooking, so they may not have as nutritious of a meal. They might have Coke and chips and everything, but if they can send their students over to a school where they will get a hot meal along with fresh fruits and vegetables and milk, so then that's helping the parents in this tough economy to be able to stretch their food dollar for the evening meal.
Well, Sandy, it looks like those meals are for anyone. Could I go get a free lunch?
Well, actually, Alan, you have to be 18 and under to go participate.
Well, recently our Public Works Department got a free lunch and an appreciation meal in their honor. On Friday, May 21st, all of the City of Bryan's Public Works employees were treated to an appreciation lunch. The lunch wrapped up Public Works Appreciation Week, and Councilmember Richard Cortez was on hand to read a proclamation honoring them. Then the employees were served lunch by their supervisors. For our next story, we'll tell you how the City of Bryan recently received several grants from the Safe Routes to School program. The Safe Routes to School program is a federal initiative that encourages more kids to walk or bike to their school campuses, and Safe Routes to School ensures that that trip is a safe one. The money is handed out through grants by the Departments of Transportation across the country, TxDOT in our case. This year, the City of Bryan received funding for 4 projects.
The 4 locations we selected were 4 elementary schools, Crockett Elementary, Johnson Elementary, and Bonham and Navarro Elementary Schools. And for each of those locations, we came up with infrastructure type projects to construct sidewalks, bike paths, traffic calming, things to basically improve the route for pedestrians to walk to campus, to and from campus.
All told, the city received about $625,000 for use around the 4 schools. Another benefit of the projects will hopefully be decreased traffic around those buildings.
We're trying to get more cars off the roadway and relieve some of the congestion around the schools, because every campus has just a tremendous amount of traffic coming and going in the mornings and afternoons, with parents dropping off and picking up kids. So if we can capture a community of walkers and bikers within that 2-mile radius of each of those schools, then we've obviously are taking a lot of cars off the road. We're improving congestion, and obviously with the infrastructure that we want to build, we're providing a safe route to the school, thus the name of the program, Safe Routes to School.
The City of Bryan will begin work on the targeted areas as soon as they can. Next, we'll take you to Council Update, which talks all about the plans for the City Hall Annex across the street at the old PD building.
At our most recent City Council meeting on May 25th, the Council approved a renovation plan for the City Hall Annex. The building was constructed as a bank in 1965 and later served as the Bryan Police Department. Once it is renovated, it will serve as office space for risk management, human resources, and the finance department. The Council awarded a $1.4 million contract to Dudley Construction for the upgrades. As always, if you'd like to watch a Council meeting in its entirety, you can log on to bryantx.gov.
Well, Alan, that seems like a good use for that space for the city.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense because it's right across the street from the municipal building. Last, we'll show you a PSA that our department recently created. It's the next in a series from Doug and Frank.
Frank, what are you doing? Oh, hey, Doug. Just enjoying the day and a glass of cold iced tea. But what about that water leak? This isn't a water leak. It's a water feature. But leaks can send water and money down the drain. I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's all the time we have today on Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Sandy Ferris.
And I'm Alan Brugman. Thanks for watching.